Hey, diloso chaponda with a news joke hunt. Looking at the times today. I haven't done this in a while. Anyone who's not seen this before, I look through a newspaper. I try to find stories which I will make funny. This is what I do. I used to do it every day when I was trying to be very topical. Now I do it probably once a week. Let's see what's going on in the world. First thing I'll tell you, most stories cannot be made funny, right? It's just depressing stuff. Like front page is drug gang boss is running home for vulnerable children. That is not something I would make fun of. I suppose you could do an angle and Oliver Twist, this is a terrible version of Fagin or something, but it's such a sad story that even if there is absurd elements in it, it would just be inappropriate and possibly insensitive for me to tell jokes about it. Similarly, shooting in the US primary school, I would never do a joke about the event itself. You could do a joke about gun control or something, but I feel like Jim Jeffries, the comedian, did the definitive take on that. That was so astonishing. I would not even attempt to outdo what he did. So I'm just looking for funny. So front page already, I see this on the Jubilee related, and it's showing all of these masks that people are wearing to support the royal family. And if you're a big fan of something, getting a mask of them and wearing it, I don't know how that's support. If you are a fan of diloso chaponda, do not get a diloso mask. I am liable to run away screaming, and the police are liable to stop you and question you, even when you've done nothing. All right? Let's keep going. Okay, over here, we turn the page. There's a story about Blowers blows his top over MCC. I could do a really childish thing because the person's name is Henry Blowfield, and end up doing some pun about blowjobs, but I'm above that. Fears of monkeypox. Monkeypox is terrifying. And I think part of the reason it's terrifying is because its name, monkeypox, it connotes ideas of monkeys and gigantic bumps appearing in your face. It's just terrifying. People are taking this seriously, right? And I think that if COVID-19 had a more scary name, we would have taken it more seriously from the beginning. If it was called Godzilla pox, people would have... It took around 4 months for people to start taking COVID seriously. Scary names are needed for diseases. So monkeypox, I have faith in WHO, CDC, and all these people knocking it out because they're responding as you should respond to something as terrifying as monkeypox. Okay, let's keep going. Going through the newspaper, what else is there? Okay, there's an article about the foreign office and refugees. There's a constant stream of things about refugees. I've been researching refugees. I did an interview for my radio show, Citizen of Nowhere, which will be airing later in the year. I interviewed my father, who used to be High Commissioner for Refugees, worked for UNHCR for over 20 years. And I have so many things, so many thoughts. One of them, which is a new thought, which is why a lot of people suspect people who get on boats, not even boats, they get on a crate and they cross the ocean, right? And they say these people aren't real refugees. They're just pretending to be refugees. Nobody wants to get on a boat, which is a crate, and go across an ocean. It's dangerous. It's terrifying. I believe anything that you say if you go via a boat, right? If Boris Johnson got into a crate boat, crossed an ocean, got out and said, I didn't know it was a party, I'd be like, wow, he must be serious because he went through a crate boat. I believe him, right? If Amber Heard went on a crate boat and came out, I believe everything. Even though everybody is doubting her, she wants us to believe us. Ugh. You see, it's a routine which will come out where essentially I think I will say crate boat if you're willing to get on a crate boat, I believe you, right? If you get on a crate boat, you cross the ocean, and you tell your wife, I did not cheat on you, she better believe you. You were on a crate boat. I don't know if it's funny, but crate boat is amusing to me. Okay, what else? Oh, that's interesting. That's cool. That's Prince Charles in some ceremonial regalia. I gotta say, I love the fact that the British royal family and lords and ladies, they, amidst all their power, they also sometimes dress like they're in Dungeons and Dragons or Lord of the Rings. Look at that! Look at that! Where can I get one of those? I want to do one of my gigs in one of those outfits. I think it would be amazing. Okay, let's see what else the Times has to offer. More depressing stories, and also stories I'm just tired of talking about. I've done too many jokes about Boris Johnson. I'm not a football fan, so I have nothing there. Come on! People are waiting. I only want this to be like a 6-minute video. Okay, here we go. Look at this. Religious contagion rate reveals dying churches. Using a technique devised to calculate the rate at which diseases such as COVID-19 are spreading, a statistician has analyzed data from 13 church denominations to assess the rate at which their membership is growing or declining. Looking at faith and the spread of religion like it is a virus is totally ridiculous, and is this statistician has got to have something better to do with his time, because this is not how religion passes. You can't be sitting next to a Sikh on a train, and then you suddenly, like, on your way out, you're like, somebody give me a turban, somebody give me a turban. You can't be a devout Christian, and then you run into a Zoroastrian, and because you brush each other, you go home going, Zoroaster, Zoroaster. I just use Zoroaster because it's a funny sounding word. It's an absurd notion. And I know people like, look, he's even got this, the Church of England have Catholic churches across the world and have our numbers of just over 0.9. He's trying to analyze something really complex, like why faith goes up and go down via mathematical equation, but there's so many other factors, right? Like faith went up during the pandemic. When people struggle, faith goes up. Faith goes down when there's a scandal about priests or something like that. There's so many factors. What a nonsense. Let's keep going. Okay, let's keep going. Wouldn't it be great if you could pass on ideas like a plague? So not necessarily a religious ideal, but let's say, treating human beings with respect, with self-respect. Go to a racist, touch them, and they catch it. It would be great. Okay, what else do we have here? We have Germany will return some jewels to Namibia. They will return jewels to Namibia. I don't know if you can see that. A museum in Berlin has agreed to send 23 ancient items of jewelry, tools, and artifacts back to Namibia on indefinite loan in an attempt to foster reconciliation more than a country after Germany committed genocide in its former colony. 775,000 people were killed in the German colony of Dutch, Southwest Africa. Now look, you can't make up for genocide with a bunch of jewelry, but I understand the thought of trying to redress the thefts of the past is always a positive one. I actually did a project with the World Museum in Liverpool about looking into the complicated history of some of the artifacts. If you are in Liverpool, go to the World Museum and check that out. Of course I'm going to do some self-promotion. I'm on tour. Watch my tour. Huh? I'm touring. Come on, watch my tour. Do we have one more story before we get to 10 minutes? I don't think anyone wants a video longer than 10 minutes. I think that's it. Thank you for watching today's news review. Perhaps there will be future news reviews if people enjoy this. This is something I used to do. Have a wonderful evening, morning, day, whenever you're watching this. This has been diloso chaponda doing a little quick look at the Times news. And ciao, adios. See you on tour. I'm on tour. AfricanComedian.com. Check out when I'm coming to your city.